If you're looking for some easy weeknight dinners to feed your family, this video is for you. These recipes were so easy, it did not take long to throw them together, and they were absolutely delicious. For the first recipe, we're starting off with Philly cheesesteak, but it's Sloppy Joe style. So I've got 2 pounds of hamburger here that I'm going to brown, and I'm also going to season this with Montreal steak seasoning. I just did that to taste. I also chopped up a small white onion, a small red bell pepper, and a small green bell pepper. And I diced those finely with my vegetable chopper. And once I get this hamburger browned and I strain it, then I'm going to re-season it with Montreal steak. And then I'm going to go in with some Kinder's caramelized onion butter, as well as some onion powder. Really, you can't go wrong with seasonings on this. Just whatever your family likes, go ahead and just throw that in there. But I always re-season my hamburger meat after I strain it, because I feel like when you strain it, it throws some of the seasoning out. So once I get that done, I'm also going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce to this. If you want to add a little more or a little less, you can feel free to do that, but I felt like 1.5 was good. And then I'm just going to stir that up and let it kind of simmer for a minute. And I'm going to add in my cornstarch slurry. So I actually did 1.5 cups of beef broth, and then I just put my cornstarch right into that. So I did about a tablespoon of that. And I'm just going to pour this into my meat, and I'm going to let it simmer and start thickening up while I add my sliced provolone. So I've got a pack of 12 slices here, and I'm going to start off with about 6 of them, and I'm going to shred them up and throw them in. I went ahead and melted them down just to see how much cheese it looked like I had in this, and when I did, I decided that I wanted to add some more. So I went ahead and shredded up the rest of the pack and threw that in there and then melted that down, and I thought that looked like enough. But also, if you don't want to shred this up and melt it in there, you can just put these on your sandwiches when you assemble them. Also added in about 1/2 cup to a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, and I melted that down as well. And then once I finished that, I started assembling these. I'm using onion with poppy seed buns, and these were so good. This was such a simple and delicious dinner. My family absolutely loved it, and it gave us leftovers, which I loved. If you try this recipe, make sure to let us know how you liked it in the comments. For this next recipe, I am making beef and cheddar sliders. I've got 2 12 packs of the savory butter rolls. I also have a family size pack of roast beef lunch meat. So I'm going to lay out my butter rolls, and then I'm going to cut those in half, and I'm going to start layering my lunch meat on those. So I did 3 slices of lunch meat on each little stack that I'm layering, and that gave me 24 sliders. If you want your sliders thicker, you can go ahead and layer these thicker than that, but it will just make less than 24 rolls. But I think that this was perfect. I like the way that they came out like this. So once I get that done, I'm actually going to go ahead and cut mine before I bake them, but you can do however you want on that. And I am going to bake these in the oven on 350 for about 10 to 12 minutes. Just want to get these brown a little bit, but don't leave them in too long, because if you do, the bottoms of these will get really, really hard. If you're leaving yours all in one though, and you're not cutting them before you bake them, you might need to bake them a little bit longer. Placing these in casserole dishes, and then I'm taking about 4 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just melting that in the microwave, and I'm going to brush these on the top with that. If you wanted to add some seasoning to this, you could add in some onion powder, garlic powder, maybe some parsley flakes or some sesame seeds, but I just did melted butter. While those are in the oven baking, I'm going to heat up my nacho cheese sauce. This is the kind I'm using. Just use whatever kind you like. I'm just going to heat this up on the stove. And then once that's done, this is ready to serve. I put my nacho cheese sauce on the side so I could just dip how much I wanted on it. I like that idea, but this was so good, and this would also be perfect for a crowd. These were really easy to throw together and delicious. Last but not least, I've got Crockpot sausage and pierogies, and I've got 1/2 of a white onion and 2 smoked sausage packages that I've chopped up, and then I'm going to throw these in a skillet and saute them. You don't want to do this part, you do not have to. You can just chop these up and just throw them in the crock pot without sauteing them, but I wanted to do that and get a little bit of char on them. I feel like it helps the flavor a little bit, but it's fine to not. But once I get that finished, I'm just going to dump these in the crock pot. If you don't saute it, you might have to cook your onions just a little bit longer in the crock pot, but it should be fine either way. And then next, I'm going to take my bag of mini pierogies, and these are the classic cheddar kind, and I'm going to dump those in there frozen. I did not thaw these out, And then after I do that, I'm going to take a can of cream of mushroom soup and 1 cup of chicken broth, and I'm going to pour those together in a separate bowl and mix them up. After I finish mixing those up, I'm going to dump those over my smoked sausage and pierogies, and I'm just going to give this a quick little stir. After I finish that, I'm going to put the lid on this, and I'm going to let these cook for about 2.5 to 3 hours on high. And you can also taste test these. That's what I did, just to make sure it is fully cooked all the way through. You just want to, of course, make sure that the pierogies are done in the middle. So once I know that, I'm going to go in with some sharp shredded cheddar cheese, and I'm just going to eye that and sprinkle it over the top. I'm going to put the lid on that and let it finish melting. And that's it. This is ready to serve. This was so good. I served mine with some steamed broccoli and some corn. This was amazing, and it was so simple. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed.